world. And so he fed them as much as they could have, and he fed them so that they could have leftovers, so that they would understand, as he talked about the bread of life, that they could be satisfied in him. And I think as much as we seek after the things of this world to satisfy us, they're going to leave us just as empty. And we forget that. We get caught up in the emotion of the day and of life. We have hobbies, and hobbies are great. You can enjoy a hobby. It's different in enjoying a hobby and finding your fulfillment and life and purpose in that hobby. It's different. It's different to find your fulfillment in vacations or sports or careers or friends or social groups or family and enjoying those things. Sometimes we want to be filled by those, and we put them in the wrong place. And we think that our satisfaction is coming from those things. And Jesus says their satisfaction doesn't come from any of that. It comes from him and him alone. Peace is what we're looking for. And nothing that this world has will give us the peace that Christ is pointing us to. We'll never find peace in anything this world offers. That's what these people had. They wanted provision. They wanted health. They wanted a different situation for their people. And in Jeremiah, we see a similar thing where God charges his people, Israel, with two sins. In Jeremiah 2, verse 13, he says, "My people have committed two sins before me. One, they have forsaken me." And this is amazing because right before this, he says, "Why did you leave me? I've done all of these things." He recounts all the things that Christ did or that God did for them as they were going through the Exodus. And he said, "I did all of these things, and yet you leave me." And he says, "Then you've dug your own cisterns, and they're broken cisterns that can't hold water, but yet you keep trying to fill them." And it's the same thing that happens with the pursuits of this life and this world. We keep having these cisterns that are broken, and we keep filling them and striving and struggling and trying to get them to fill. And the whole time, there's a cistern on this side that's full to the brim. It's sitting there, and we look at it, and we're like, well, not really. I really love these things more. And God's like, your cistern has a crack. It doesn't matter how much you put in it, it's going to flow right back into the ground. You're only going to find that peace and that satisfaction in me and in me alone. So Jesus gives us this sign, illustrating that our spiritual needs are way, way, way more important than our physical needs. And we lose sight of that as people. This is man's greatest mistake. It's our failure in life. It's our sin. Thinking that somehow we are going to find peace in something outside of Christ himself.